Hi everybody, I'm Gerone Wright here again, and you're with me on my Geronification channel. Um, I have in this video I'm going to be discussing some key points about the aerial view um, over the location of that of Vatican City, and in the area specifically St. Peter's Basilica and the main infrastructure here. Um, what brings me back to this? I did several post on this on my alien UFO site, and I believe I may have even made a video. I kind of lost track here. I'm doing so much at one time here. Um, However, I was drawn back to this after I seen I was viewing I think it was an alien UFOs or ancient aliens um series, and they were talking about the Nazca lines and the aerial view of the Nazca lines and all of that. And I was saying to myself, well, I mean, okay, I'm impressed by the megalithic lines on the ground there and all, but I said, what is more impressive than this right here? Because there's an ancient secret and an ancient knowledge that's being suppressed from us, and it involves that of how we truly evolved, um, where we evolved from, and genetic bridgings and manipulations of our of mankind's being, which involved ancient prehistoric creatures of our world, reptilians, and and various different animals of our world, and which later caused for the different likenesses of mankind. Um, Now, in these findings, I'm finding that at the center of it all are these people and the royalty of our world, the kings and queens, which makes perfect sense, people, because these are the people that have been around since the beginning of time and hold the key and the history to that of mankind's existence. And these are the earlier explorers of our world, and these are the peoples that ruled over us throughout all of our mankind's existence. Um, the Vatican, kings and queens of our world. These people hold the secret to who we are, and the wealth of knowledge therein, contained therein. Um, so, if we find these locations, and I mean, and it's indicated, we find these locations, and in these locations, there is an indication that from the air you can see um, a new meaning in something that it seems like it's symbolizing a message that might be being trying to send to beyond our planet or whatever. What better place is there to look for any of this in our modern day existence than in this right here? If there is a symbolization made in our ancient ancestors' times, and like in Peru with the Nazca lines, I mean, look at this. I mean, this in itself is a message, a modern day message, pretty much. And I'm gonna go over some things with you because in my last video about this, I was talking about how this seemed just to be just like a guitar. You can't really see it up here, but at the top, this is a cross. Okay, this is a cross. However, in my last sharing of this, I said that this image is identical to that of a guitar, a cross between a manual guitar, a string guitar, and that of electronic guitar. And what's impressive about this is that I know that this is the on location here was a site that was given to the Vatican by Constantine back in that era. Now, my thing is that I don't know the actual construction of this building, but my thing is that it's linked to the guitar, which the guitar actually evolved from out of that era, out of Italy in Rome, in the neighboring um, um, city of Rome there. My problem is that a lot of this ancient knowledge seems to have come from here, from this. I just want to show you something. I don't want to go rambling on here. I want to show you something about this, what I found to be. found this to be identical to that of what you would expect in the head of a guitar. These little notches right here on each side, on either side, to be the tuning pegs. This right here to be identical to the nut on a guitar. This area here to be like the fretboard. Okay. And this right here to be like the body of the guitar. Right here. Now, and it's my position that right here in the center of St. Peter's, what is St. Peter's Square or whatever that is there, to be that of an obelisk, which I'm telling you that this is identical to that of being a sound hole of that of a guitar. And this obelisk being almost like that of what we would expect to find on a record player, the needle, that this is being the sound pickup, to where these sound vibrations are transmitted through this obelisk. And that's what I believe that these obelisks represent as well too, people. That they are transmitters of sound. And this is why they start from the lower at the base, at a smaller point, go to their smallest point, which is to the pin at the top. And I believe that wherever that there is an indication of a sound being made, these devices are made as a sound pickup and transmit this sound in a way of sound vibrations through to out into space. That is my belief. Okay, that is what I feel through my paranormal experience and encounter. Okay, that's what I believe that these obelisks are. They are communicators. Okay, now in this case, it fits in a perfect scenario of that of a guitar. Now, let me show you how we can continue on here, because there's some other parts here that are not labeled. Okay, and I'm gonna go into now. I'm giving you a guitar, but I'm gonna give you something else. I'm just doing a rehash of something that I already said. This part right here, which actually lends to everything that I'm saying. Look how this part here is shaped. You see how it actually comes in? Now, I don't know what this part is called on an electronic guitar, but look how that part, I'm going to see if I can come in, is identical to this right here. Identical. Look. On an electronic guitar. Look at this. You see? That hold the strings. It is identical to this. Even this little piece right here, this little triangular piece, what we would expect to see. You notice that you see that on, I think, those big bass guitars, those floor guitars that you sit down, and there's like a pin there that actually holds it in place. All of this stuff here is symbolic of what we would expect for a guitar to look like. But look at this. If this is true, that means that this technology was out long before it was actually released. It is my position that sounds that are created here, there is a transmission through these sounds that are actually reverberated into space. This is my position. They are amplified and transmitted through this obelisk out through to space. They're created here, amplified, almost like an amphitheater, amplified. And this obelisk is a sound pickup needle that transmits these sounds out through into space. Now, I'm going to leave you with that. Now, I'm going to show you something else. Now, that's just a rehash of something that I have actually already said. Now, also here, if you notice, that there is a wheel. The wheel of life, as we actually know it. Look at that. A perfect wheel. The obelisk in the middle dubs as the pin for the wheel to hold the pin into place. This, the cross at the top, this can be identified with something, again, which is in the ancient history of that of the Vatican. And I'm going to get to that in 1 minute. This is also identical to it's called the Carmania a Burana. That's Carmina Burana. To this image. Right here. How's that? See if I can bring that in closer here. The cross symbol, this wheel of life is actually inside of the cross. Just as we have here. There's the wheel and the cross is there. You see that? If this object, if this was flipped over inside of here, you would have a cross and a circle, or vice versa. This object, this depiction is similar to that of which is here, symbolizing a cross and a circle. Right there. Now, what this is like, the wheel is they call it also the rotule of fortune, the wheel of fortune. Is a concept in a medieval and ancient philosophy referring to the conspicuous nature of fate. The wheel belongs to the goddess Fortuna, who spins it at random, changing the positions of those on the wheel. Some suffer great misfortune, others gains windfall. Fortune appears on all paintings as a woman. Fortune appears on all paintings as a woman, sometimes blindfolded, and puppeteering a wheel. Now, let me show you what you cannot see here on this wheel. Let me show you another image of it first before I actually go on. Let me show you a couple other images of that wheel. There's another image of it there, okay, of this wheel of fortune. And then actually here, I'm going to show you something before I go on about this. And we also have it actually there. I know that this wheel of life is associated with the cross-referencing of mankind's genetics, which I've told you that's what the symbol of the cross means. It means just what it is, a cross. This is why you see mankind's likenesses within the cross. Jesus hung on the cross because it represents cross-referencing of the genetics of mankind. Simply stated, that's what it means. Here, in this sense, this is a cross-referencing of the wheel of life. The same thing is symbolized as being there. Here, what is being stated? This can be read. If you were to Google this, the Carmina, I have it actually spelled out here, the Carmina a Burana, you can actually see it there. Here. This person underneath the wheel stopped here. Now, this is a cross-reference now. I'm telling you that. I'm going to explain this out. This is the cross-references of mankind's genes, and it shows you at certain levels on which they were genetically altered and manipulated. Now, down here, what's down here? You can't see it, but I can tell you that this represents the genes that are closer to that of 8. i.e. black man, um, Africans, which are closer to that of the our origins of from evolution. Okay, how do I know that? How do I know that this is the next in line? It shows you how these genes are being bridged over and or destroyed. And this is why it says that it's the wheel of fortune, where some actually gain great windfalls and the others misfortunes. This is what is happening right now to Africa. Misfortunes. Look at the plague, the famine. Look at everything that's happening there. That place is deteriorating, not only just genetically, but the nature of just that location. Period. You see everything being changed. You know why? Because it is a bridged over location where new genetics are being created and old are being destroyed. How can I show you this? Because these paintings are a record of all of that. There's even paintings in modern day that tell us the same thing. This is just an older version. In this case here, there's excuse me, there's an encryption. And what you have to do, oh, by the way, the wheel is symbolized as right there as well too. Okay. Now, how you can tell this and how I can tell you what each person here represents. Okay, genetically and nationally. All you have to do is just look in their hair, and you will see the being. They have, in other words, they have multiple likenesses in through their hair. I can tell you that this represents our black ancestors, based on the face that I can see encrypted in the hair of this person that is underneath this wheel, showing you that those genetics bridged over. This is no different than what you see when you see Jesus hanging on the cross and you see a skull at the bottom. Or with Lord Pakal and his tomb lid, where you have the cross, you have Pakal sitting in his chair, and then at the bottom there's also a skull-like figure, which you can barely see, but it is actually there. The same exact symbolization. It shows you death and resurrection. In this case, everybody is saying the same exact thing, and it's death through our original origins of genetic evolution, which represents that of our black ancestors. The genetics of blacks are being bridged over and destroyed. That's what this is saying, right here, stating. Okay. It shows you reptilian presences. All you have to do, people, is look in their hair. It's encrypted. Okay. I'm going to leave you with that. Now, there's something else that I want to show you. Let me take this down. And I can read that, by the way. I'm not going to go all the way into grave detail. But all of these artworks are encrypted. And basically all you have to do is position this in a way that, and go into, you can Google this image. And all you have to do is look into the hair, and you will see other faces morphing into the likenesses of this. Let me see if I can find one right quick and go from there. All right, here's one right here. Let me go with the person that I said. I don't know if I can get that up close enough for you to actually see there. This is if you go right in there, you will see the face of a woman right in there. Okay, this lets me know, this is how I arrive at this being the representation of that, of ancient genetics, referencing that of our black ancestors right here, based on the face that is right there. Okay, so if you turn this image this way, you will see the face of a witch-like woman that is morphing this whiter likeness here, and it tells me the genetics, where we're genetically at this point. That's what that tells me. The same thing is over here, and it's throughout the whole entire image. Even the bodies, in the bodies there are images that allow you to know what is actually being stated through encryptions in this image. Now, how do they arrive at putting this in here? This is also an old Renaissance artist encryption style. The hair represents us genetically. They utilize these objects, the hair, the penis, women with their breasts out, the breast milk, these bodily fluids or anything that represents an indication of to send a message of genetics that are being altered. Okay, blood, semen, the penis, the vagina, all of these indicating encryption styles are being utilized to send the message by artists, and that's what's being stated here as well. Okay, so now let me get out of that. And where are we at here? Back at this. Oh, okay, I know what I was doing. I don't want to get sidetracked because this is. I want to show you something else about this. Also have another image up here. Again, people, what is more important? If these people have been around since the beginning of time, which they have, why would we be looking at Peruvial? I mean, the Peruvians Nazca line. I mean, it's an impressive sight. Don't get me wrong, but if you can look over Peru and see the Nazca lines, wouldn't it be only logical then that these people already have that knowledge of all of this stuff? Because on these explorations that they commissioned, they gathered and destroyed knowledge that they couldn't carry back, which references how mankind came into existence. And they're not the only guilty parties. They're the kings and queens of our world, of Spain, that actually commissioned these explorations too, with the conquistadors and all that. All of this stuff, this knowledge, this wealth of knowledge, not only do they have it through their sense, but they collected it from the beginning of times, and they oversaw all of this information. So it's only logical that if you go into the air and look down on these locations of these people that have stolen our world's ancient technology and informations and ancient history, then it's only obvious that when you look down on their locations, which are castles, their sanctuaries, in other words, these Gothic style mansions and all, it's only obvious that the message, the hidden messages, can be seen as well, just like we can see when we look down on Peru. This is what I'm driving at. To see if they hold the key, the secret, then obviously then they will be doing the same as our ancestors did, and that's relaying the message back into space so it can be seen from space that, hey, look, we're here. This is what we know. You see what I'm saying, people? This is what this is all about. So you don't want to look at, you do want to look at the Peruvian burial lines, and Nazca lines and all of that stuff there. You do want to look at that and the aerial view of the pyramids to see the different shapes of how the pyramids have these multi-dimensional structures, of course. But wouldn't it only be logical that we can look here too and see the same exact thing, because the information that was before is now here. And also in the castle structures of our kings and queens. I can read into the Rosslyn Chapel. You see, I mean, these people have taken something from the beginning of time and called their self, camouflaging it and reintroducing it in a way that can still be seen and messaged from that of our space and from above, just as our earlier ancestors did. And this is why this building and its structure, surrounding structures, create this image. Alright, what else is there? I'm going to show you some of the different things that are there. It's actually multiple things that are here. Alright. With this upside down and coming from this way here, here's the cross. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to this. I'm going to go back to this right quick. Sorry about that. I'm going to go back here because there is something else that is here. What I'm stating. The wheel of life, well, besides the guitar, the wheel of life and the cross. Just as here with this, what is this thing called again? The Carmenia Borania. Cross, wheel of life, and at the top you have a crown, okay, by a queen. Here's the king here. It's my position that these two crowns are inside of one another and it's here, right here. This is the crown, symbolizing the crown. The smaller one representing the larger one representing the king, and the larger one representing the queen. Or we can go with this being the king, and the smaller ones here representing the queen. These crowns on this cross is what I'm stating is representing the crowns and the of these people that are indicated here. And there's also multiple crowns also here on the cross that these people are actually wearing here. Okay, and it's my position that the same thing is being stated here, and that's why we have these symbols in the center and around the cross, just as there is there. You know what? I see something there as I'm looking at that. I see something because I've seen this somewhere before. With the way the cross is here in the middle, and then that at the center, and these objects, these four objects off to the, I've seen that somewhere, but I forget where I've seen that at. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going because I'm gonna go into something else. Okay, different symbols that are in like cult-like pagan worship, that are references that are utilized in Christian symbolism and symbols of Roman gods. Okay, here's another one. Let's turn this cross. If we turn this upside down like this, hold on. Let's turn this upside down. If you notice that there's almost like a section, it's complete. It looks like it's complete there, but it's also like a void here. Even though there's buildings there, from above it actually creates a void. The further you go, there's a void created, which actually makes the cross come down like this here, and then a hook, and then only half of a side. You notice that this side, the further you get away, it becomes voided like it. You can't see it. You can see this structure very good and clear, but the further you go away in distance, this is not seen. That's what I'm actually driving at. Okay, are faintly seen, and I'm stating that creates the symbol for the Roman god Sirius, which actually makes the cross. And if it was upside down, how would it be upside? If it was upside down, hold on, am I doing this right? Yeah, okay, this is upside down. And which side am I on here? I forgot how I did this. Oh, it would be on this side. This would create that hook, excuse me, and come into the cross and create the symbol, the Roman symbol for the Greek god Sirius, or Cyrus, or whatever his name, Ceres, C-E-R-E-S, right there, and there's the cross upside down, and that creates that symbol. Now, also, it also creates the symbol for the Roman god Venus. You want to take it and do the cross symbol again upside down, and you want to complete it. There's the cross, come down, and then we can create the circle and come back up to the cross, and then this creates the symbol for the Roman god Venus, the female and the male. Alright, now what else does that there? We have the cross symbol. What other symbol? Oh, excuse me. Man, clear my throat here. This also creates the symbol for the key. There's the body of the key. This will be where our key rings, where the keyhole would actually come through again. And this will create that key goes in and turn. And we all seen keys like that, so it's no stretch of imagination that this is actually also a key. Alright, now already said that this is actually in likeness of that of our a musical instrument from the guitar family. We also have the wheel, which is shown here. The obelisk, which has a deep-rooted symbolic meaning and value throughout ancient history. I'm saying that it's almost like not like a tuning fork, but a transmitting of sound. It sends sound vibrations like a needle on a record player would, and this is why it's centered here. I'm stating that sounds are created here, and through a vibration of transmitted sound, these sounds are picked up at the bottom, at the larger base, and sent out through their smallest point, which is at the top, and transmitted. They can be directed to a certain location. So it's my position that you pinpoint where this object aligns with, and that's where the sounds are being sent that are being created here. It's my position that they have a galactic alignment from this location here at Vatican City to wherever this obelisk is being directed at. And it's my position that there's communication waves, i.e. sent in the form and transmitted in the sense of being that of vibrations, sound vibrations, like a record and the needle on a record would actually produce. Alright. Now, the next thing that I have up here, and I do have tuning forks, that these are also set up in a sense of being like tuning forks. And then stop. And that's why we have this opening right here, as you would in tuning forks. The reverberation, there's no connection here so that the reverberation of sound can be controlled. And that's why these are set up almost in a sense of being like tuning forks. Now, I'm stating also that whatever we don't see here can be interlinking below the ground. I don't care how you want to do it. It could be rebarb. It could be fiber optics. It could be, because the technology of these people are like beyond God knows whatever, because it's my belief that the guitar was created through the technology and the knowledge of these people, and they actually just gave it to someone else to go ahead and introduce to the world. Because why else would this be set up just as I just told you, as a guitar? And in my mind, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm almost sure that it actually, this structure and this design, this architectural buildings of, structures, these building structures are actually exceed that of our first guitar being introduced as a musical instrument, because they had this information and technology. And having said that, if you notice that a lot of our technology have evolved out of this area. Okay, now I want to go into something else, okay, because this is my most compelling that I want to show you about this. We have the cross, and we have this body, this wheel. And I'm saying that this is a cross reference of the wheel of life, and that's what this is symbolizing. Now, I'm going to bring up a Sweden petroglyph that is actually on a rock that shows us the same exact thing. Here, this is a Swedish petroglyph on a rock that was discovered, and it shows us the same exact thing. You have the body of a snake showing you different levels of genetic manipulation with this creature, and the cross that is symbolized at the body, the center body, meaning that there was a cross reference of this creature with what? Well, who created this petroglyph? Man. Mankind created this. So they're recording the fact that they were genetically manipulated over this creature, and they're showing it by having the cross symbol here. We were cross-referenced with this creature. I don't have that image up right here right now, but our Egyptian ancestors did the exact same thing. The Swedish has another one here. The one where they have they state about the Egyptian light bulb. I might go take a minute and actually look for that. It might take a little. Matter of fact, it's going to take too long. But the snake is referenced as being cross-referenced as well in our Egyptian glyphs, which I have evidence of it. I have a video out on that. You can actually see that as well too. I'm not going to take the time to go and look for that because I should have actually did it already. But here, the cross-reference with this guy. Look at this. Here's another one, Swedish glyph. And again, there's the serpent. There's his tail, there's his head. And there's a flower representing the tree of life. This creature bridged over the tree of life, which calls for genetic interventions with that of mankind. In the Lost Book of Nostradamus, on the Wheel of Life, I've made some incredible finds as well too. If you see my video here, that it shows the serpent in the Wheel of Life that I have on there, the two-headed serpent. Okay, which that's what the Wheel of Life means. The same exact thing. This is just in raw form. It shows us that we were cross-referenced. Who else says it? The Vatican states this, the same exact thing. Jesus hung at the cross. In this case, by Fenzini and the nuclear explosion, so it says. This is Fenzini, and this is Nervy Hall. Jesus is shown emerging until you didn't know that this was here until I broke the encryption code on this mass in the back, that Jesus is actually shown crossed over, cross-referenced with that of a reptile, which is the head of a snake. There's our dear Pope down there, and his cardinals at his side, and I can read this mass. And there's the image of our reptilian ape. There's the cranial, there's the right eye socket, there's the left eye socket, there's the nose, there's the right nose nostril, there's the left nose nostril, and there's the ape's mouth, and it's shown with a genetic linking chain in its mouth, showing that these creatures were bridged over. And then there was a genetic line right here. You can see that little mass coming out there. New genetic strands and genes being created. This mass is nothing more than a creation, and where the artist took pieces out, like a puzzle, created a puzzle and then took pieces out. And only a select few could possibly read this. I doubt if really anybody can read it in the way that I can, because there's things about these structures, and created that nobody could possibly know, because my knowledge comes straight from the source. Meaning that I have this higher sense of a multidimensional awareness and sense of being that was gifted to me, that allows me to see and do this stuff. Okay, and I go into detail about that too, and you have to actually see my videos. Okay, and this is why you see me taking apart everything that you believe in, everything that is in existence, and I can continue to do this because I do not have no end. I can do this in our world, beyond our world, through our world, and throughout all of space and existence, because I am paranormally connected to it all. I wonder if I should take a minute. I'm going to take a minute, people, and see if I can actually find that with the snake and the cross-referencing of that with the Egyptian culture. Let me see if I can see that real quick without going through a whole bunch of... Might be able to find it real quick. That snake is shown in all of our cultures. Hang in there with me, people. Hopefully this is only going to take a minute. I only have 1,000 files here. That's close to I don't think I'm going to find it. I don't believe I'm going to find it, people. Where's my Egyptian file at? Something told me to get that and I didn't do it. Hang in there with me, people. It's worth it. This information. Looks like I'm down. I can't believe that this thing is all the way down to the bottom of it. It's going to be all the way at the bottom. I can't believe that it's all the way down to the bottom. If I would have just started at the bottom, I would have got it. Alright, I have it. I went through 1,000 different files just to find this. Alright. The Egyptian culture is, people are saying the same thing. You see that? That symbol? Bridged over the snake, cross-reference. The same thing is being symbolized here, where they wanted us to believe that this was an Egyptian light bulb. This is actually the founding stone, the building blocks of mankind's genes, showing you that they're bridged over. And this is the flower of life from the tree of life. From that you see emerging. This is not a filament in a light bulb, but rather that the snake, the serpent, formed in the looping back in the form of the shepherd's croc or crook, whatever you want to call that thing, and it shows you that mankind was genetically bridged over that crook. This is not a light bulb, people. And how I disproved all of this, that as not being no light bulb, is that the same exact message and symbolization that is here is right here. In this case, it shows you a reptilian monkey, shows you that the snake's, the serpent's tail is tied in with the serpent's tail of that of the reptilian monkey, showing you that there was a genetic bridging. And the crook, or the shepherd's crook, and there's the flower of life right there, the same exact thing that's in the other, shows you that these genetics were corralled, or in this word, they were directed. And this is why the shepherd's crook is here. It shows you that there was precise genetic manipulations and bridgings over this. Now, let's take this snake and spin this snake around into becoming a wheel. And this is why you have the spokes of the wheel like this, that people took and translated them and made them into something entirely different. Now look at this, people. You have the flower, you have the snake, and you have the different levels of genetic bridging. Don't, if we turn this thing back around in the form of this of the crook, you see this, turn this snake completely around, and then put spokes in it. It shows us different levels of genetic bridging. In the Lost Book of Nostradamus, it shows us the same exact thing. Here, these ancient alien theorists have you believing that this is an Egyptian light bulb. Sometimes I gotta wonder with some of the stuff that they're coming up with, if they're being paid to misguide us. And the same thing with Zawi Hawass. And the ancient aliens is Eric Van Daniken, and then with antiquities in Egypt, we have Zawi Hawass. Sometimes I wonder if these people are being paid to misguide the public about what the hell is going on with how we came into being. People, the information is right there. How can I come along and show you this? If you take this snake, just like it is there, this serpent, in our times, create spokes. Doesn't that make more sense? The wheel of life. And it shows you these bridging overs. Look at the body of this snake, people. And look at these markings in this serpent. Look at this. The Peruvian burial stones, which are right here, showing us the same exact thing. I hate to go back into this. The Peruvian burial stones. Let me show you one that's actually how mankind was genetically bridged over these creatures. This is splicing. That's why you see the knife, and you see that at the guy's mouth. Look, people, I was genetically bridged over there. Logically, we know that we were not with the dinosaurs, because time and the way that evolution has it is that this is evolutionary impossible. So therefore, we were with the dinosaurs. You know why? The dinosaurs are with us. They are genetically in us, showing us that these serpent genetics are within us. And that's why you have the knives out and show this man riding this dinosaur, and his face looks just like that of the dinosaur, because we were genetically spliced. And look at the gene right there, the snake, shown snaking out of the body. Look, babe, people, I was bridged over this creature. Look, you see that? That's what he's saying with the knife at his mouth. Look, that creature genes is inside of me, and now out of me is his gene. And that's what this is saying. You see it at his mouth, in his head, in his neck, splicing, in his mouth, and he's saying, now look, my genetics are spooling of that of this creature. I carry this creature genetically in me. What the hell? I mean, why can't we see that? How come it's so simple for me to actually state this? How come science is not doing this? People, we are being misguided from the truth. I don't want to keep going back into this. However, all of that came from this symbol. We are looking above the skies everywhere else but where we should be looking at. You know why? Because they put the fear of God in your asses. Have you afraid to look into the mouth of the truth? And where it is right here. 6 million people sit in front of this mass. 6 million. Is this? Oh no, sorry. 6,000 people. I'm sorry. How come I'm the only one? A person on YouTube said something about skulls, and simultaneously I was actually doing my videos. But a person mentioned something about being able to see like skulls in there, but nothing identifying. I can read this entire mass because I am truly paranormally connected to it all. It's my position that these genes, what they're stating and they're boasting about, is these genetics are here. Alright, I'm going to end this video with that. I went on for an hour, and it was all just to bring your attention to this. That's what I wanted to do, and what the true meaning and the value was of the wheel of life and what it actually represented. You can Google a lot of this information, people, but look at this, because where you see death and resurrection, it's a cult-like symbolization that shows you that it was life, death, and resurrection. How these genetics were once on top, which were genes of that of black man and ape, and how they were crossed over and bridged out, and now they are just being destroyed, became obsolete, non-void, no more in use, and they're being destroyed. Look at what is going on today in Africa, the Middle East. Look at everything that is happening there. It's my position that life in the order that it was created is being destroyed, bridged over, rectified, manipulated, genetically altered. And this is how we have all of these other likenesses. Can't nobody tell you how our white counterparts evolved into the likenesses that they have. And yet I can. I'm telling you that these faces, I can show you how these faces came into existence. It shows us there's a genetic grail, there's a genetic record, how it all became and how it all happened. And people, they boastfully show that there was genetic bridgings with reptilians and other creatures of our world. This symbol is a symbolization of that. We evolved from celestial masses in space, which I know where we evolved from. And these people hold the key to it. Well, besides that, I hold the key as well too, because it's my position that everything they know and done, I can expose, and not only that, I can take it steps in either direction, before and after. Anything that is hidden in knowledge here, it's my position that I have it within me, and I can actually divulge anything that they've done, because they candidly have the record on display. And not even what is not can be seen, I can see. Even what they don't know, I know. All I have to do is just inquire within, and it's given to me. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel. And there's more to come. There's always more to come. I didn't mean to drag this out so long. It seems like my other video was an hour. Now this video is an hour. I remember when I only had half an hour videos. But hidden in these artists' artworks is a grail as to how you were created, and even hidden messages that they don't even know are there, that appear there, because I know a secret about all of this stuff that even possibly they cannot even know, because the origins of all of that stuff is with me, and they cannot possibly know why all of this stuff is in existence in the first place. But yet I do. My name is Gerone Wright. You're on my Geronification channel. You can also see me on Alien UFOs. And with that, I'm going to go. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't mean for it to be so long, but eventually here we're going to go viral, and I won't have to do that. Oh, is this also? No, okay. I'll leave that with that. Okay, I'm going to leave that with that, and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you. I'm going to end this video.